Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm ForClassic and welcome to BenchART. So today it is the day, so we have finally Persona 4 Golden Edition. This game was announced on the PC gaming show. We did suspect that the Persona game would be coming to the PC, but come on, this guy just gone there and said that the game is now available on Steam, and I was like, what? And I just rushed to Steam and I've noticed that the game was immediately available, so I just brought the damn game to play it and to benchmark it. So Persona 4, developed by Atlas, the same developers of all the Persona games, and also Catherine, which we did receive on the PC last year. So it seems that finally Atlas is bringing the Persona series to the PC. I'm not really sure if they are bringing Persona 5 or not. I believe it depends on how good or bad this game sells. But according to the feedback on Steam, this is going to sell pretty well. So let's start things up with the settings, which is something that you came before. With the MX130, I was able to play the game with maximum settings over here and 1080p. Alright, this game offers a ton of graphical options, but most of them doesn't really do too much regarding performance. The only big setting that did change about the performance, it was disabling or enabling shadow quality. So the game do recommend a GTX 460, 4 gigs of RAM, and an Intel from the first generation or the Phoenix X4. So what we do have here in our laptop, it is much better than that, alright. The MX130, it is still a powerful card, and at 1080p maximum settings, I was able to get an average of 66 frames per second with a minimum of 50. If you want a perfect 60 frames per second experience, you need to drop down your resolution to 900p. If it happens that your screen it is only 720p, well, that's fine, because the game will just run above 60 frames per second no matter what. Although performance it isn't really important for this game, since this game it is a JRPG, so you can even play at 30 frames per second if you want, because the combat system for this game it is just turn-based like the old Final Fantasy games. So what happens really is that you enter in a combat arena where you take your attacks through turn base, alright? And before the combats, you just see the enemy there. You see the enemy. And if you attack first, you kind of get an advantage. If the enemy attacks first, he gets an advantage by the battlefield and can attack you first. Alright, so this is a huge review, so let's talk a little bit about the game. So, like I told you, this game it is from 2008, and still the port it is very well done. Most of Japanese ports from the old days tend to be frame rate locked at 30 or 60. On this game you are not locked to anything, so you can just lock your game to any frame rate that you want via any third-party software. You have a VSync toggle, and the game supports arbitrary resolutions, which means that you can select any resolution that you want. So there are games that doesn't really allow that. You have seen the graphical settings. There is also options for controls, because I know that not all the people plays with gamepads. So if you want to play the game with a keyboard, you can define the keys that you want. You can map any key that you want for any action. So not all the ports does offer this also, despite it is something that we take for granted in most games. Also, this game brings an option to invert the camera, which by default it comes completely inverted, so I had to invert again to be okay, but it comes with the option, which is pretty good in my opinion. So the port it is very well done, and despite it doesn't really add anything compared to PS Vita, the assets are the same. What happens really is that for the first time you are able to play this game at a decent resolution, and I'm not talking about 4K, I'm even talking about 720p or 1080p, because the resolutions behind PS2 and PS Vita, they were really low. So the game it is available on the PC at a very cheap price. It costs $19.99. I brought the game honestly because it's a huge deal, and I haven't played Persona before on the PC, so I wanted to try out to see what's all the fuss about. And this game it is basically a JRPG, alright. The combat system it is pretty much like the old Final Fantasies, where you play turned bases, and before entering into a battle, if you approach the enemy first, you get the advantage. If the enemy approaches you, he gets the advantage. He can attack first, alright. So it is pretty much like the old GRPGs. There is a feeling of a Pokemon too into this because you hold in a persona, which is pretty much a monster which have its own attacks. So yeah, there is a ton of interesting stuff into this game, but I mean, this game starts very slowly, and the narrative behind this game, it is outstanding. Also, the voice acting, the atmosphere, and the OST, they are completely top notch. Obviously, I can't show you the soundtrack because, you know, copyrights from YouTube. But the game itself, the way it starts almost like a visual novel, an interactive visual novel, where you interact with other characters. The voice acting, even on English, which is not original, it is pretty well done. The game starts off with a story of a kid or a teenager that just gets off the city, of its school, to ingress into a village, into a high school. So you start in a new school with new colleagues. You are living on a room that is pretty much owned by your brother of your mother, the brother of your mother. So you have a familiar thing inside that house, and you start to meet new colleagues. You start to make friends inside that high school, but suddenly something happens. A girl appears that hangs on an antenna. Later, some days after, another girl appeared hangs on a telephone pole. So people are starting to appear dead. Police can't do anything, can't find any suspects, and from your colleagues and you started to notice that something is wrong, and started to find some readings of a parallel world, which kind of explains the depths that are appearing on the regular world. And that's where the game starts to give you some freedom to explore. And talking about exploration, at least on the first 5 hours, this is not its strongest point. So the way that I see it, the exploration, it is pretty much like Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness, where you are in the street and you just climb a couple of stairs and the game needs to build a new area. It just goes pretty much like that. You enter an house and it needs to build a new area. So this is pretty much an old game, and it is from PS2 era. So I do think I do understand what is going on with the technology. This is not really a great technology, despite the engine behind this game. It is the renderware, the engine behind GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. Japanese games were never really that technological at all, and so even using engines like this, at the time they were very limited. All right. So, but the game itself, its art style, everything, it is top notch. The art style, the voice acting, the soundtrack, the atmosphere, it is completely outstanding. I can't really show you off too much about the game in here, because it would be really hard to show you off what is this game about, how it gets to you. But what I'm saying is that I'm not really into Japanese RPGs either, and I was playing the DLCs of Mafia 2 Definitive Edition. It was being very challenging and I was liking it, but then suddenly this game came out. I did brought the game for benchmarking just to show you of how it performs in my multiple systems. But I got so hooked up with the game that I just played the game for 5 hours. So can you imagine how hooked up I was with this game? So the Steam reviews have been very positive. So the game, at the moment that I checked out, it was 97% of score. All the people are satisfied with the port and with the game. So I'm really expecting this game sells well, because I do want Persona 5 on PC. And the game, it is very cheap at the moment. It is $19.99. So if you care about Persona and JRPGs, this is a completely a mandatory title. You should really buy it. It is a nice price. The port, it is good on PC, and you should really play it. Alright, so guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about Persona 4. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Chie, are you alright? Chie?
She said that red looks good on me.
Yukiko-san?
I hated my name. Snow is cold and it melts quickly. It's transient, worthless. But it's perfect for me. Apart from inheriting the inn, I'm worthless. Still, Chie told me that red looks good on me.
Are these Yukiko-san's inner thoughts? I remember hearing Saki-senpai's too.
Yeah, this castle is probably here because of this Yukiko person.
Yukiko! Chie was the only one who gave my life meaning. She's bright and strong, and she can do anything. She has everything that I don't. Compared to Chie, Chie protects me. She looks after my worthless life. And I don't deserve any of it. Chie is so kind. Yukiko,
Chie is so kind, huh? What a joke.
What?
Oh man, is that?
It's just like Yosuke. She lost control over her suppressed self. Now
Are we talking about that, Yukiko? She says I'm protecting her. She says she's worthless. That's how it should be, right?
What are you saying?
Yukiko's so good looking, so fair skinned, so feminine. She's the one all the guys drool over. When Yukiko looked at me with such jealousy, man, did I get a charge out of that. Yukiko knows the score. She can't do anything if I'm not around. I'm better than her. Much, much better.
No! I've never thought that!
What are we gonna do?
we need to protect Chie-chan right now.
No! Don't come near me! Don't look at me!
Chie, calm down!
No! No! This isn't me!
Wait, stupid! Don't say anything else like that!
That's right. I'm the one who can't do anything alone. I can't win as a girl, let alone as a person. I'm pathetic. But Yukiko, she depends on me. That's why she's my friend. I'll never loosen my grip on her. She's too important to me.
No! That's not how I think of her!
So you're just going to turn your back and deny me again? But things are different now. When the time comes, I'll be the one left standing. You won't mind, right? I'm still you.
Shut up! You're
Chie, no!
not me!
Chie!
It's coming! You have to use your powers to save Chie-chan!
I am a shadow, the true self. What do you guys think you're doing? Trying to defend the real me? Then you're gonna pay the price!
Shut up! Quit being such a pain! Chie, just hang in there a little longer!
Huh. Think you can stop me that easy?
Counting on you! Should we show him who's boss? Good answer! Ready or not, here we come!
like you won't understand without a little pain! Kneel before me! Here it comes!
Ah, that was intense! You okay?
Kneel before me!
You're gonna pay, damn it! Counting on you! Persona! All right, partner.
Scream for me!
Persona! Throw down! Persona! Should we show him who's boss? Good answer! Ready or not, here we come!
How lame! You're all so deadly serious and we've only gotten started!
Counting on you! Persona!
Take this! Here it comes!
Ah, that was intense! You okay? You're gonna pay, damn it!
Scream for me!
Persona! Throw down! Should we shoot? Good answer!
Are you guys idiots? Why are you protecting her like that? She's nothing but a grubby bitch! Scream for me!
Counting on you! Persona!
Kneel before me!
Counting on you! Persona! Counting on you! Persona! Now good answer! Ready or not, here we come!
Don't make fun of me! You're nothing against me! Scream for me! Take this! Scream for me!